So Akamai, started in the content delivery business, and still kind of the heart of our business is delivering, large media, great streaming, all the downloads you have, and of course, all the websites all over the world. But back in the later 2010 to 2014 range, we pivoted very hard into the cybersecurity world. Today, about half of Akamai's revenue is cybersecurity, made up of things like DDoS, WAF, API security, microsegmentation, and obviously layer 3 and layer 7, like DDoS protection. So we have a great broad spectrum of security services. And in 2021, we entered the cloud computing market, and we launched a new cloud computing service, providing a continuum of computing solutions. It's one of our fastest growing solutions today that has core computing, so full stack cloud computing from the core all the way out to our edge, offering solutions that then integrate across those security and delivery components that we have on our network.
And I heard that your cloud network is quite distributed across the world, which has some advantages to the big providers who might just have a few huge data centers.
Yeah, I mean, always being as close to the end user, it's kind of Akamai's DNA. We want to be as close to every end user, providing lowest latency, best performance, and of course, like real-time answers to queries from end customers, whether it be your AI agent that you need to get fast response from, or whether it be intercepting an attacker coming from a local computer trying to get out to somebody's core site. We want to catch them right at the edge and attack and make sure we block it there.
You work with some radio broadcasters. Tell me about the services you provide for them.
Yeah, radio's been part of what we've been providing since I joined Akamai back in 2005. So some of the major radio broadcasters all over the world, most countries and most media content providers have an audio solution like a radio station, but they also provide video. So we'll provide video, audio, and then even today, those companies need security. They need to protect the streams that they're offering with tokenization, piracy protection. We provide all the things, VPN protection, making sure that we can protect the stream, the audio or video if they have that in the geography that they want to keep it in. And of course, in places like Europe, where GDPR becomes an issue, not only protecting the stream, audio or video, but also protecting the data and keeping it localized to the country or geography or locality that they need it to be in. Some folks want it on-prem, and they have very specific encryption requirements, and they want to keep it on-prem. Some want to store it in our cloud, which is why we have the geography protection data that we can provide them inside their geography. And then some have another provider, and we partner and make sure that they can get the data where they want it to go.
Do you also work with music streaming services?
We work with probably almost all the major brands of music streaming services globally, yeah.
Let's also delve into security a bit deeper. The old kind of security attacks against straight websites were denial of service attacks, but I'm sure it's more complicated now.
Yeah, I mean, back in the beginning where Akamai started, so Akamai's core network kind of came by default with an amount of DDoS protection. Really layer 7 DDoS protection to the application layer protection. And we did that forever because we had to protect our own network. And we were a source of attacks, not a source, destination for attacks for many, many years before it became kind of the cool thing to talk about. But when Anonymous started to attack many of the financial institutions, maybe it was, 2012, maybe 2013, we started to offer our internal DDoS protection as an external service. And that's really where things started for Akamai with that. We then acquired a company called Prolexic, which provided best-in-class layer 3 DDoS protection. So now we were able to offer best-in-class layer 7 application layer, and then, of course, layer 3 DDoS protection as well. We still offer that as a core of what we provide. But definitely things went from there in terms of offering cloud-provided WAF solutions. So we have one of the world's leading WAF cloud solutions that anybody can offer. And then as we've seen, really traffic on the internet has migrated to APIs. So most companies have, hundreds, if not thousands of APIs that, while we can protect them from a generic WAF attack, we added API layer protection for them so we can actually inspect the API requests and find things that are out of whack with those. In addition, bot protection as well. So bots also doing fraudulent activities. So you can imagine you've got DDoS protection, you've got kind of cloud WAF. Now you've got API WAF, in essence, API protection you're providing. bot protection from fraudulent scraping or fraudulent account access. And then separate from that, we added on things that can get behind the firewall, things like microsegmentation to protect the infrastructure from things like ransomware, which become another vector for attacks.
Explain microsegmentation for me, because I think that's a particularly important area for broadcasters to think about, because we're constantly under attack, often from state actors who don't like what may be broadcast. And so they're trying to get in all sorts of ways, either to plant fake news stories if they can, or at the minimum, just get inside the system and disrupt it from the inside.
Yeah. So microsegmentation, I think the easy way to think about it is think about a big boat, a ship. And inside the ship, what they build underneath the ship, in case the ship gets punctured, the external part of the ship, they have segments underneath, right, that are broken out. So if one part of the ship gets punctured, that little area gets filled up, but that the rest of the ship stays dry internally so it doesn't sink, right? And microsegmentation is basically that. It's segmenting your network into separate components. And this has existed for a long time, network segmentation, but it really required a network engineer to manually segment the network. And Akamai offers this basically a software layer network segmentation that breaks the network off into pieces. So if a state actor were to get in, they'd only get into that small portion of endpoints that this network is segmented and it couldn't spread to your organization. You can't always keep everybody out, but the idea is let's protect the network so if somebody gets in, the perimeter that they can spread out to is very, very small. And that's what microsegmentation does for a company. Make sure that when they get in, they will not spread.
And if hackers do get in, how do you know? Do you have constant monitoring and then...
Constant monitoring, constant views. We have agents that run on software-based agents that run across the network that monitor for anomalies and make sure that if somebody does get in, clamp down the network, and then help for remediation as well.
Thanks very much.